Aloha. I am coming to you from my office today, you guys, and I'm contemplating some stuff that I was like, God, you know what? I just want to hop on live and see if I can stir up a little conversation around this topic of deciding, right? Of making a really big decision, of choosing for ourselves one way or another, right? Yeah. Aloha. As you hop on, give me a what's up. Let me know where you are joining me from, you guys. I have a conversation I would love to hear your input on, and it's about making decisions that like totally influence our lives in really, really powerful ways. And this is a conversation that I know can like bring so much momentum and energy and like magic, full-blown supportive magic into our lives. And I'm going to share with you a personal story, but I would also love to hear from you guys if you guys have any any personal stories on this as well. So drop me. I would love to. I can't see any. Here we go. Tamra, aloha. Jana, aloha. I'd love to hear where you guys are at right now. Just drop me a comment below. Where are we all circling up from? And it's telling me right now that I have a low connection, so that I hope that I can carry this. Mana, are you on, baby girl? Aloha. Right on, beautiful. Hi, honey. So fun sweating with you this morning. What a potent morning workout. Okay, so this is the conversation, you guys. It's about deciding. And I was just doing a little bit of journaling, and in my journaling, if I cut out, will you guys tell me actually when I even see that? I hope I'm having good reception here. Aloha, dear. Monica, can you tell me, or anybody out there, am I coming through? Can you hear me? It's telling me I have a low connection. So I was doing some journaling around making a decision. And actually the question was, if you had a choice to choose between living a fuck yes life and a life of mediocrity, what would you choose? Kind of seems like it actually kind of seems like a stupid question, right? Like it's a no-brainer question, as of course I would choose fuck yes life, right? Who's going to choose on the side of mediocrity when we have a choice? But if we were like brutally honest, aloha Veronica, aloha Tamra, thank you honey, you said you can hear me, that's awesome. Earlier my phone was telling me I had no cell phone. Anyway, living way out here in the middle of the ocean, sometimes my connection gets a little weird. So thank you for letting me know. I'm coming in. Nikki Boudre is in the house, honey. Love you. Oh my God, that's a high five right there. Okay, so if we had a choice to decide between a phenomenal life and a life of mediocrity, we're going to say, give me it, baby. Give me the abundance. Give me the joy. Give me the body. Give me the fuck yes life, right? What is a fuck yes life for you? Fuck yes life for you. Sorry, this is maybe some rated R lingo. But drop me a comment. What does a yes life mean for you? What would need to show up in your life for you to say that you were living a bam, right? Like a life of a high vibrational life. What would that mean? So let's get clear on that. Number one. Molly's in the house. What's up, girlfriend? Thank you for being here. And so when I asked that question, we're like, well, I would choose the most high option, right? But if we got brutally honest with ourselves, let's like really get down to like, instead of flying out here to like get really like truthful with ourselves in our day-to-day life, what do we tend to choose? Do you tend to encourage yourself like nobody's business when the mind comes into doubt and fear and worry? Or do you kind of go down that rabbit hole, right? That bunny trail of fear, doubt, and worry, and allow it to get the best of you. And in that moment, what we are actually choosing is mediocrity, probably at best, right? We're choosing to kind of stay in the same old thought process, the same old habits, the same old emotions streaming through. We just get ourselves stuck in a rut, right? So it's an interesting question, because we would say, duh, like, what a stupid question. Of course I would choose the yes. But if we got brutally honest, what is it that we're choosing? So something to contemplate, some food for thought as you are moving through your weekend, right? It's Aloha Friday. As you're moving through your weekend, pay attention, stay aware, and what would it look like? What would it feel like? Oh, really, what would it look like, and what would it feel like if you consistently chose and made decisions from the energy of, oh, you know what? I am choosing a high vibrational life that is in alignment with my heart. Billy in the house. What's up, brother? We are talking about living a fuck yes life. We're talking about making decisions on the behalf of that of which is aligned with our heart's deepest desires and passion, right? Which actually means showing up it as a version of love instead of hopping into little boxes of fear, right? So we're choosing to live a fuck yes life over the other option, which is choosing to live in a box of mediocrity, of fear, of excuses, right? And I've done all the above, right? I've done this, that, and the other. I've definitely done all the above. But I want to hear from you guys a story of where you think back on it, because this is some powerful juju, man. This is aloha Tammy, aloha Kate, aloha Kevin. When we really tap into this and get a clear vision of, oh my gosh, you know what? There have been times where I've put fear aside and I've decided I made a big decision that was more in alignment with this right here than right here. And the outcome of that was actually really safe. The outcome was really magical. And here's just one example for me, but I want you guys to contemplate this, and please share it below. Just share, you could share it in a sentence or a paragraph, right? Of where it is that you made a big decision in your life, where you chose love over fear, you chose to align here instead of here, and where the actual unfoldment of that was the universe, your angels, God showing up for you in ways that you never could have choreographed, ways that you never could have planned out, right? So for me, that was moving to Kauai, and that was a lot of years ago, right? Somewhere around 2003, I don't know, about 2003, let's just say that. However, prior to that, I had come out to Kauai summers. Every summer, I'd come out with my backpack. My best favorite thing to do in the world would be to try to get on every hike that I could. You could be here for a lifetime, really, and you wouldn't explore every inch of this little tiny island, because it's immense and immaculate and beautiful and amazing. However, every time I would leave, I would literally go to the ocean and cry, right? Because I'd be going back home to Michigan, right? And snow. Yes, I had amazing community. I was teaching in the most epic yoga studios. Had amazing clientele of students, amazing teachers there, myself, and then my family. All my friends were there, right? So it was my safety zone. However, there was something so inside of me. For probably 5 times I would come out here and then I would cry every time it was time to go home. However, when I was back in Michigan, over and over and over on repeat, you guys, for years. Talk about staying stuck in mediocrity or in a rut, kind of being up in here and not here. For years, I would listen to myself say, I wish I lived on Kauai. I wish I lived on Kauai. I wish I lived on Kauai. Now, the point of the story is pretty magical. And I hope that this conversation helps you if you're kind of on the fence of making a really big decision that is inviting you to either align with this or this. And I hope it helps you make a choice, right? A choice in either direction. It's shit or get off the pot type of thing. Because if we're not making a decision and we're just kind of stuck in this oh, well, I'll think about it, I'll let it all get figured out itself, we're not living an empowered life, and we're actually not aligning ourselves in a way that allows the universe to support us in ways that will blow your mind, right? Long story short, I decided one day, I remember I was in Arizona. I was at a yoga teacher training with John Friend. I think it was actually a therapeutic training. I remember the friends I was with. I remember the room that we were in. I had just that year had gone through one of the hardest things I've ever gone through in my life. And I, again, just kind of hearing myself say, I wish I lived on Kauai. I just wish I lived on Kauai. And in that moment, I made a decision. I actually set a date and I said, you know what? This is in October. I said in June, I am moving to Kauai in June. It's a done deal, decision made. And in that decision, like energy, right? So much energy, clarity, came through. So I had some months to, kind of just still live my life and wrap up whatever's I needed to wrap up in Michigan. So June came, and when I ended up moving to Kauai, I literally had no plans in place, you guys. I did not have a job. Didn't have a studio I was aligned with that I was going to be teaching classes at. I didn't have a car. Did I say I didn't have a house, right? I literally came out to Kauai with a heart bubbling over of enthusiasm because I was aligned with the choice that was so inside of me to say yes to for so many years with my 2 bags, right? Aloha, Miss Melody. Aloha, Kevin. Hey, you guys, where in your life have you made like a really big decision that ended up, was kind of scared the crap out of you to make the decision? Like there were so many reasons why it was safer for me to stay in Michigan, right? It was safe for me to stay with around my family and my friends. It was safer for me to stay where I had, where I've been teaching yoga forever, where I had my community, just basically where I felt safe, right? But a part of me inside was dying. I hated the winters coming. I hated chiseling ice off of my car. I hated shoveling the freaking driveway. I hated being cold. And there were so many things about Kauai that literally made me feel alive. Like I would show up here, and if you ever come here and you get off the plane, like it's your first inhale, you're just like taken over in the most like just glorious infusion of life, right? The air feels amazing. The aloha vibration is all over the place, and I feel alive and lit up here. So I came over with my 2 bags, and literally within a few days, aloha Brian, aloha Stacy. I'm talking about making a decision. And the question is, if you had a choice to live a life or to live a life in mediocrity, what would you choose? Drop me a comment, you guys. Really, what would you choose? And I know you're saying, what a crazy, silly question. Like, duh, it's a no-brainer question, right? But if we got really seriously truthful of the day to say choices that we make, they're usually on the behalf of fear, doubt, disbelief. We're usually not encouraging our highest self to come forward. Sometimes we are. Thank God. Right? And sometimes we're not. However, what would it look like and what would it feel like if we like consistently like rewired this brain up here, and where we were, more addicted to encouraging ourselves than dropping into the little jacket of fear. So let me get back to my story. I showed up, and within a couple days, I ended up buying a car. It was like the Kuhio dollar days, right? If anybody out here is listening from Kauai and you've been here since like the beginning in the 2000s, you may remember the Kuhio dollar days. And I got my car for like $1,200. That car lasted me a long time. It was awesome. But however, as I was buying the car, I had a phone call from a friend. It was actually a friend of a friend, Mr. Taj out there. I had reached out to him months prior because he had was living on this island, and I said, "Hey, brother, if you hear of a place to live, because living on an island like this, it is not always easy. Even way back then, finding an affordable place to live was not always easy." Okay, so I wanted to check in with him, let him know I was coming, if he had heard of anything or heard of a car that would be for sale, to just keep me in mind, right? Well, months and months had passed. I never heard from Taj again on that subject. So I just thought, whatever. He hasn't heard anything, or he forgot about me, or he's just living his life, right? He's busy. So here I am buying my car, taking action, doing my things. And at that point, it was actually through my friend Brooke, another woman, Brooke's friend Nina, on the day I arrived. I didn't even know Nina. Never met her before. Bless your heart, Nina of Nani Moon Mead. She had just said, oh yeah, you need a place to stay. You just showed up. I got an extra bedroom. There's like, there was no furniture. I slept on my thermarest, right? On my thermarest with my sleeping bag on the floor of that bedroom. Oh my God, I could cry, you guys. This is crazy. Because when I look at what's unfolded from that big choice of me really leaving Michigan, making a huge decision to just say, you know what, I'm going to go with what this tells me instead of what this tells me. And I look at where I am now, it's so crazy, amazing of what has unfolded, right? And if I would have played small and not have aligned with this and stuck up in here, I don't know where I would be. I'd be probably stuck in Michigan. I would probably be maybe a freaking still doing drugs all the time and probably an alcoholic, and who knows. It probably wouldn't be that great of a scene, right? Because I wouldn't have been living in alignment with my heart. But so let me go back to I was buying my car, right? So Taj has ended up calling me and he's like, hey Sam, are you still coming to Kauai? I was like, yes, I'm here actually. And at that time, right, I was sleeping on the floor in this thermos, but I was so grateful. I was so grateful that this woman that didn't even know me, she was a friend of a friend, had invited me. Yeah, you can stay on my floor for, a few days, whatever, until you figure it out. Come on, no problem. So I was super grateful for that. I'm buying my car. Taj gives me a call, asks if I'm still coming on island. And I'm like, yes, I'm here. He's like, are you looking for a place to stay? I'm like, oh my God, yes, I'm so looking for a place. And he had said, well, I've got some friends who he landscaped their property back in the day, and he was like, they're looking for a caretaker. Is that something that you would be interested in? Hey, Stacy, aloha, beautiful. Right on, aloha, Willow. Aloha, Ron. So you guys, I'm talking about choosing. If you had a choice to choose between living a fuck-ass life and a life of mediocrity, what would you choose? Right? What would you choose? We say it's a no-brainer. I would choose the fuck-yes life. But if we honestly looked at it, there's many times throughout our day, if we were brutally honest with ourselves and instead of living in the clouds, we really took a look at the thoughts that were, kind of running the show, we would see that we're choosing often on the side of mediocrity. And it's keeping us stuck, right? It potentially is actually keeping you really stuck, actually living in a place where you might be feeling super depressed, you might be feeling super out of shape, you may be feeling just frustrated, you may feel like you're just the whole universe is against you, right? Like you can't do anything right and everybody's against you. Like that really, those are kind of the consequences of us consistently choosing mediocrity. Really what it is us choosing fear, right? Aloha, Joe. But this is the good news, you guys. I know that every single one of us that are listening right now, we really do have a past experience where we can say, but I showed up that time. I really made a decision that aligned with my heart. I made a big decision. And when I did that, oh my God, look what showed up. For me, it was, I could give you lots of examples, but the example I wanted to share with you right now is when I decided to move to Kauai after years of dragging my feet and wishing I wished I lived on Kauai, right? So I made the decision, and literally within days of showing up here, what unfolded for me, being taken care of, being supported with so much prosperity and abundance and love was in a way that I couldn't even have choreographed it myself if I tried to put it together, right? If I tried to put it together. So I was like, yes, I would love to meet your friends who are looking for someone to caretake their house, which ended up being Bill and Margot. Bill and Margot, if you guys at all watch this replay, I just want you guys to know how much I love you so much. And meeting them was a huge blessing, right? So I showed up to their house, which is, you guys, it's a half a mile from where I live, from where my husband that I met here on Kauai and I bought a 2-acre, parcel of land that's got a home on it where my yurt is right across the driveway where I teach yoga on. Like, what's unfolded from that decision has been crazy mind-blowing, right? Crazy mind-blowing. I couldn't have choreographed it. However, in that instant, the way that the universe showed up to like reassemble my reality was I ended up with a car. I ended up with a house. So I showed up at this house, and it was like crazy immaculate. Acres and acres around it, ponds in the backyard, a reservoir, a lake in the backyard with waterfall coming down, and just the sounds and colors of the tropical flowers everywhere, the smells, the sounds. As soon as I arrived, I got out of the car, and this, like private home with acres and acres surrounding it, just in the middle of like heaven. I thought, is this a joke? Like, is this a joke? Is someone going to pop out of the bushes and be like, you're on candid camera? Like, did you think that we were just going to invite you to live here? And that actually is what happened. Bill and Margot and I met then. We totally became bestest of friends in that moment. And I ended up caretaking their house, I would say maybe for a year and a half, a couple of years. A total magic, right, Willow? Total magic. And like I said, you guys, if I would have not have made that decision to move to Michigan, it took me years. It took me years to get up the courage to say, you know what, I'm going to go. Even though I could fail, even I could get over there and I could fail miserably. I could get over there and I had just left my family. I left my friends. I left all my yoga clientele, and I left everything that I know to be my safety zone. And I could go over there and shit could hit the fan. I still decided on behalf of what was so much inside of me. I didn't know how it was going to work out. I didn't know how it was going to unfold. But when I made the decision and I made the choice, guess what happens? The whole universe conspires to align behind your big, huge choice, behind your big decision. And that's when magic and miracles and holy crap, how did this show up? Shows up, right? Shows up in a way that we couldn't have planned it ourselves. But until if we're not making those choices that really come from here, then what? Then we wake up a year from now, we wake up 5 years from now, we wake up 10 years from now going, how come I'm still here? How come I'm stuck in this rut? How come I'm going through the same thoughts? How come I know that this is possible, but I'm stuck here? Right? And that is depressing, man. That sucks the life force out of us. That makes us feel inadequate. That makes us feel totally incapable. And those feelings aren't the truth, you guys. Those feelings aren't the truth. What is the truth is that there is a universe and angels and God wants to support and bless us in infinite ways. And that the only way that we can allow those miracles is to show up is by us making decisions, sometimes really big, massively scary decisions that are alignment with our heart, right? So we got to get out of the fear that's right here and choose love, choose like the big, bold of the heart. Okay, so that's my story. And I honestly just hopped on with the intent that maybe whoever's listening to this, maybe there's somebody that is in a place where they're trying to make a choice, right? They're like, do I decide this or that? And should I choose love or should I choose fear? Should I choose my heart or should I choose my head, right? Is this not the truth, you guys? Give me a comment below. Let me know that is true or that is false. If we could figure it out right here, we're thinking it out, wouldn't we have already figured it out? Right? Right? So what if this is not our navigational system that gets us to magic and miracles? What if this is not our navigational system? What if this is what keeps us stuck, depressed, in a rut, not unhealthy? Okay, what if this is like our navigational system to just like, epicness? What I can share, honestly and truthfully, is that has been true for me over and over and over again. And I fully acknowledge that it can be super duper duper scary stuff to make a great big leap, to make a great big decision. Don't let analysis create paralysis, right? And if this is something that I can support you in, you guys, of really holding an energy that allows you to be in that place where you can align with your highest self, then I am here for you. I am opening up some time in my schedule for some coaching calls. I am looking for just a few people who really want to take their body and their life to a place where they're not going to recognize in a year from now, or they're not going to recognize 90 days from now. And if any of what I've shared today has created a little bit of, oh, she's speaking to me, right, inside of your heart, then check the comments below. I'm going to leave a link where you and I can hop on the phone for 30, 45-minute call, and I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you get crystal clear on what's holding you back from living life, right? And I'm going to help, it's going to be my intent to help you create some clarity around that, because clarity is energy. Energy is mobility, and when we are in action and in alignment with here, holy schmoly, it's that we're feeling alive, we're feeling joyful, we're in alignment with aliveness streaming through us. So I want to be here to support you in that. My schedule it's filling up, but there's some spots in there. So check my comments when we're off. I'll put the link there. And beyond that, I want to hear from you guys. If there is a story that you can share with me, like, let's create a thread where we can all support one another in like saying, yes, you know what, it actually, because what we have to do is we have to nurture this, and we have to stop feeding the fear. So if we can remember in the past the times that we made a big choice and it was actually safe for us, not only safe, but it was like miraculous, right? That's fuel for our fire to live in our light. Ooh, that's fuel for our fire to live in our light. So I shared one of my stories. I would love to hear one of your short stories. Where is it that you've made a decision, right? One decision that in doing so scared the bejesus out of you in that moment. But as you made that decision, you literally felt the earth shake, and you felt like support and magic come into your life in a way that couldn't have. It couldn't have. And if you wouldn't have made that choice, it would probably be really scary where your life would be right now. I hope you guys share, because I want to come back and read it, and I want it to be something that I can like high five you in and celebrate with as well, because that's a way that we can support one another here. So again, I am going to I'm going to create a link down below. Just check the link, read the info there. If hopping on a call, if this conversation lit you up in any way, potentially I can support you even deeper in living a fuck yes life, so you can be in a body that is fit and fierce, that you absolutely love. I'm here rooting for you, cheering you on, and I am just here to ultimately remind you that magic and miracles are all around, and your blueprint for your highest self is right there, and nobody else can make that decision for you. Nobody else can choose on your behalf except for you. So let's do this thing. All right, you guys. Much love and aloha.